Okay, today I'm just gonna do a rant on something that won't make a lot of sense unless you've seen shows like The Cosby Show and, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now, on the premise that producers of those shows make those shows for an ideal audience, the ideal audience, was made for a bowl of pepper, but a few grains of salt unbeknownst to them are also in the audience enjoying the antics. Now, that's why I like this game. I really feel like I'm in a robotic factory. Oh, you monsters outsourcing all this work to robots, taking them from hard-working human beings like me, and what is it all for? To get me a tank large enough? Do your job, you heartless robots. You don't get a paycheck. You're not alive. Oh, thanks for saluting me there. Anyways, love The Cosby Show and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'll admit it, as a kid in the 80s, I watched The Cosby Show religiously. It was because I came from a very dysfunctional family. And when you live in a dysfunctional family as a kid, you watch The Cosby Show, you're like, oh yeah, Cliff, show my parents how it should be. Oh, Cliff Huxtable. I know during New Year's Eve you wouldn't ruin it for the family because Felicia Rashad bought you that bottle of wine. You liked your wine, Cliff, and you wanted to drink it before 12 o'clock, and a hate-filled argument is breaking out, and, but fortunately the sister's devastated, but the son just got a Captain Power toy for Christmas a week before. He's like, oh, I can't hear them fight. Oh, it should be like it is in the Cosby household, but I got me that toy from Captain Power that lets me watch the show and shoot the bad guys. I'm happy. That's why I loved The Cosby Show as a kid, characters on that show, characters on that show had their ideal role for, Rudy was always being the youngest daughter, who was the one who was sassy and comical and funny, and, but then the oldest Cosby sister gets a new husband out of nowhere. It might have been the middle sister, but, love that show as a kid. Rudy was out Rudy though. Yeah, the middle sister comes back with a new husband out of nowhere who has to join the Cosby household, but he's a single father, he has a daughter, and she out Rudy's Rudy. Now Rudy has no identity in the Cosby household. This new addition to the Cosby family stole her place as the youngest daughter, who is the one who is really funny and sassy, and the old... Now you gotta either be serious or sassy, Rudy, and, well, that's why I love this show as a kid. I even saw this spin-off, Another World, where the middle-aged Cosby daughter goes to college, but, well, it touched upon a tragic story for a character on the show. Now, it was dressed up as a historical person you respect, thing going on in school, and the character in Another World, gets dressed up as an African princess, and the contest judges, who are all white, give her first place for dressing up as Aunt Jemima. Now listen, why would you not want to be Aunt Jemima? She's not a heartless corporate advertising brainwashing character meant to sell pancakes, and she was a woman who made that company great. Well, why would that be a bad thing? Yes, I love those shows as a kid. Oh, I love The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Carlton on that show is hilarious. The Oreo. Basically black on the outside, white on the inside. Carlton's problem is he's a black guy with a white Republican screaming to get out. You know, I love that guy as a kid. Alfonso Ribeiro. Oh, he won a celebrity racing event once. Loved that show as a kid. I think I'll do another rant on this, but you know, those audiences were, you know, made mostly for black people. Well, there was a couple of white people in the audience, and well, good times for them.